Hey, I've got a question. Did you know those beasts? They be rising, man. Heck yeah. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped for this movie. It's ridiculous. I'm a literal moron buying some of this stuff. But I'm so hyped for Rise of the Beast. I'm insanely hyped. I went into Walmart and I finally found like more than just 2 of the new toys. I'm so excited. I actually already had this one because this was kind of like pre-released in the like the Cyberverse, Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures line. This is the Smash Change Optimus. We'll take a look at that as well. I mean, it's repackaged for the movie. It's a movie toy. But we also have, I'm really curious about these Flex Changers. It's really odd. I picked up Nightbird because, she's a brand new character, and I figured, hey, if I have a weird toy, it might as well be a unique character. So, I got Nightbird here. I don't have any of, the mainline deluxes yet. I've done videos on, Studio Series things. So, if you want to check out some Studio Series stuff, I reviewed all those except Scourge. I've not gotten Scourge yet, but I will soon. We also have this, Beast Alliance. Optimus Prime and Chainclaw. I really like this because it's basically like a deluxe class Optimus. And if you know me, I have so many Optimus Primes, it's not even funny. So I kind of like when Optimus is more of a deluxe size. So I wanted to check out the Beast Alliance line. As you can see, he's got tons of ball joints. He's pretty well articulated. Truck mode looks good. Really curious about that. And star of the show, we do have a mainline figure. We have Optimus Primal, the Voyager class. I think leaks might have mentioned that we're getting a Leader class Studio Series one. So, who knows? We'll see if I end up doing a versus video. I don't know if I'll even get a Leader class if I like this one enough. I don't even know if he really needs to be, Leader class. Because Voyager might be a good size for him. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. We haven't even seen the movie yet. Even though I did actually go to the theater today to watch John Wick. Loved it, but I saw the trailer on the big screen. It was so good, and I love. Okay, let's just get into it. Let's start with the toy I've already opened up. The toy you've seen in stores for roughly a year. The reason why this toy has been in stores for so long is because the movie was going to come out a whole year ago, but it didn't. And I guess Hasbro already had this particular toy prepared, so they were just like, we'll repackage it and just put it out on shelves, and they did. And it's pretty decent. I got it on Amazon for $22, which, given the fact that it retailed for Voyager price of $35, I would say is a pretty decent price. And it's a big figure. I mean, seeing this next to, since I have it on hand right here, a deluxe class, you can see it's almost like modern Leader class size. It's a pretty big figure. It's not super heavy, but I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Looking at the sculpt, I'm very impressed. I think this is what sold me, seeing that really nice movie-accurate head sculpt. I love all the paint, the silvers, and the little pops of yellow, the gunmetals. It just looks really good. It just, for being a smash-changey kind of gimmicky toy, it just looks really, really good. Articulation isn't much at all, but I think it has the essential for just a cool robot toy. You can turn his head, which in my opinion is pretty essential. If a robot toy, especially of this size, can't move their head, kinda eh. The arms, all they do, they just have an elbow, and it's for transformation. So, yeah, articulation's little to none on this guy, but he does have a really cool special feature. So basically how he transforms, he's gonna collapse, but if you take this panel and hold him down here, take that as you will. Yeah, let's transform it. Let's see how it goes. So, it is pretty simplistic. It is a toy meant for children, after all. Kind of clips in there, fold the head down. You'll flip these panels out. There's tons of springs in this guy. I mean, you can even see one right there. So keep in mind, as you're moving things, they might spring back on you. And you just take these, and it's kind of cool how these, double flip and tab in. And the transformation's pretty quick and solid, and you're left with this really cool, unique truck. It kind of reminds me of Beast Hunters, and I really like that. Kind of, going in the vibes of, Rise of the Beast Hunters. This toy, I believe we'll see a retool into Scourge, which is pretty cool if you want a weird, gimmicky Scourge. But yeah, it looks decent. Looks decent. Doesn't have all working wheels. You can see, I think, I don't even think those ones function as wheels. They're just kind of tabbed in. Those don't function. It's just the front and the back that function. But still, it's, you know, a toy made for kids. I think if you can get this for like 20 bucks or less, it's fun. It's just a fun toy. But the main thing about it is the smash change. So let's see how well this works. I have been experimenting with this several times. I don't know how well it's going to go on camera. We will see. It's, no pun intended, touch and go. So there's this button up here. How it should work, you press this twice. So press it once, and those will flip back, and press it twice, and the arm should go out. There we go. Had to press hard, but it worked. And then you take the rear, and you smash them. That worked pretty well. Could have been a little more fluid. But you can see when you smash it, the head pops up, and then he pops up. So I've varied levels of success. Sometimes the head doesn't pop up. Sometimes, like after I press the button, he kind of just pops into robot mode, laying flat on his stomach. Sometimes the button just doesn't work. So it's a little touchy. There is the Smash Change Optimus Primal that seems a little more simplistic, because instead of like smashing, because basically his feet are like a button. It's essentially what's going on. It's kind of like you press it down, almost as like a piece that shifts. So maybe Primal works better. I might pick that one up because it looks kind of cool. But yeah, there is one toy right there. Smash Change Optimus Prime. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it. Next up, I am very, very curious about how these flex changers work. And since we just talked about an Optimus, we will do the next Optimus next. So let's open up Nightbird. I heard, like, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. Maybe, like, Airazor gets brainwashed to be Nightbird at some point. I heard that's a possibility. Or Nightbird's just a separate character. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if there's any, like, weird, like, corruption or whatever. I'm really interested in, like, Scourge as a character, too, since his head has, like, similar design elements of Optimus Prime himself. Is this, like, a multiverse movie? Or, like, Primal is a multiverse version of Optimus and Scourge is a I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. I'm really curious. So one of my first impressions is that I'm not sure if this was really worth the price, because the price of this was like $16 or $17, and this feels like a $10 toy. It really does. It feels like a little one-step changer, very thin, but I'm really curious about this flex change, because you can see it's like flexible wiring. I don't think it has any articulation in the robot mode whatsoever. Nothing. It couldn't even get, like, arm articulation in there. So absolutely zero articulation. It is literally like a one-step changer. But instead of being a one-step, it's a flex change. Yeah, I don't think this is something you would want to get for retail price, but I was just so curious about how this worked. I couldn't wait for clearance. I wanted it. So let's see how it, looks. Looks pretty decent. I really like Nightbird's movie design. It's really interesting. Out of all the characters they could have pulled from, Nightbird. She wasn't even a transformer in G1. She was just a robot ninja lady. And you can see a lot of her design is actually very similar. It's cool seeing Nightbird. And it's also interesting that her name is Nightbird when she's not like a Maximal or Predacon. So, again, that might lead to, like, it could just be fan speculation that she's like an Airazor, kind of like Black Arachnia in animated. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, let's figure out how to flex change this. So you see these elastic bands here. They call it like Energon bands or something silly like that. I wonder. I really wonder how this goes. Oh, wow. Oh, whoa. Okay, I think I know what's going on. So basically, we're going to like... Whoa! Okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Okay. I see what you did there, Hasbro. Okay. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. And the vehicle mode looks kind of cool. You do have some holes for the, the cables, the elastic bands. How does it roll? Not the greatest, but it does. That is so interesting. Whoa, that's a really unique take on one-step changers, but it's too expensive. I mean, I understand that, you know, integrating this elastic, it's not even like elastic. I feel like it's just a softer plastic that has like some flex to it. But that is, let's see how it goes like going back. So basically, you untab the feet from the chest, and then it's just like, you flip it inside out. Maybe flip it the other way. How do we flip it? How do we flip it? How are we flipping? Yeah, just look at that. That's so weird how it's flexing. I just think this is such an interesting idea for a Transformers toy. Yeah, look at that. That's so weird. I like it, though. I like it. This is definitely one I'm happy to have in my toy collection. I recommend one of these if you're the kind of person that likes fiddling with Transformers toys. Like me, I have a lot that I just like keep on my desk and fiddle with. Like, see, now that I know how it's going, it's like back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, that is wild, man. I don't know the longevity of the bands. Like, I don't know how, if they'll get stressed or if they'll dry out. They don't really seem too elastic. But you can see they do have a decent amount of flex to them. Yeah, this is definitely one I recommend, just not at full price. Okay, that's 2 down. Let's check out another Optimus. Well, technically Optimus Prime, since we have a whole other Optimus in this movie. I'm so curious about Scourge, man. Like, it would be so cool, and it'd kind of be like a play on the whole Robots in Disguise Scourge, how he, like, basically was Optimus Prime. I don't think he was story-wise. I think he just looked a lot like, you know, G2 Prime, because it was just a retool. But let's see. You're still stuck on something. There we go. This is a concern I do have for modern toys, how easy it is just to cut them out. You know, because someone, like an enterprising individual, could literally just go into a toy store and be like, oh, I've got some nippers on me. Let's just, and you'll just see this on the shelf. I'm worried about that. So this Optimus was the same price as Nightbird, interestingly enough. The same price. And honestly, looking at him, seeing how he's like almost a deluxe class and has a lot of articulation, like actually a lot of articulation. Oh, he's got universals at the shoulders and like backwards butterflies. He could use some more paint, that's for sure. He's really lacking some paint. But it's a toy for kids, come on. This is Transformers, like missing paint is nothing new. Back in 1984, they were straight up missing their heads. I'm looking at you, Ironhide. Yeah, let's look at the size of this. So comparing it to Nightbird, you can see that's roughly the same size. So for like the same price, you know, this is fully articulated, and this has no articulation. But this has the bands, and this also has a weapon. So I think value for money, like especially comparing it to like other Transformers toys on the market, like this is pretty comparable to like a $4 or $5 like Target Master, and we'll get into that. And then the figure itself, you know, I would definitely buy this for around $10. So I think like the price of $17 is fairly fair for this. I think this is decent. $17 for this though, we'll see. So let's again bring in Twitch just to show you how it looks next to a modern deluxe. And Twitch is, you know, standard-ish size, which he is a little scrawny. Yeah, let's get into it. So again, like the Smash Changer, very nice sculpt, especially for the size. That head looks really cool. Like I can just see him going, "Let them come." I'm sorry, I had to. I really would have liked seeing some gunmetal paint on the arms and on the stomach, but if I'm that inclined, I'll just do it myself. You know, but I doubt I will be. Let's see his articulation. How does he move? So he's got, I guess you could count that as like an upward joint if you want, but he's got swivel, universals at the shoulders, transformation hinge, ball joints, nothing at the wrist, swivel at the waist. Very nice ball joints at the hips. Wow. Nice ball joint at the knee. And he does have a little ankle action going on. Little heel. He can crouch. That's cool. He can kneel. That's the proper word. Yeah. This is a nice little Optimus. Very simplistic. Like, you can already guess exactly how the transformation is going to go. But before we transform him, let's look at his little chain. What was his name? Chain Claw. So, he's called Chain Claw because he's got claws and he's got chain. Check that out. Check that chain out right there. What do you think about that, huh? Just imagine you come home and your dog just has a chainsaw for a tail. It's like Chainsaw Man, but it's on the complete opposite end and on a different animal. Look at that. Isn't that... Anyways. I love the color. The color is really cool. It's got some silver on it. Does have a little bit of black for the nose and the eyes. That's a cool little character. I don't really think I'm going to be getting too many of these, like, Target Battlemaster type figures, but I'm happy that one came with this Optimus. And its transformation is, I mean, you can pretty much guess. You're flipping the handle down and you're flipping the big old chainsaw out. I don't know if you want the limbs back. You can't put the limbs back. Okay, so it's just going to be like that. So you have the chainsaw and you have Optimus. And you put the chainsaw in Optimus's hand. And, well, Optimus, what do you have to say for yourself? Let them come. I'm such a child. I'm such a child. That's a cool weapon, though. I dig it. Oh, he does have a port on his arm. Awesome. I was actually just going to ask, like, does he have an arm port? There we go. I think that looks cooler, actually. Yeah, let's just get some kickback going. Okay, anyways. Yeah, that's really cool. So far, out of the two I've shown already, this is probably my favorite. But we haven't transformed it yet, so let's see if that still holds. So we probably want to rotate his head, since I'm pretty sure that's just going to be poking out the back. Rotate that around. This is like the most basic you can get for an Optimus Prime transformation, it looks like. You can't get more basic than this. That'll just tab in. That'll just tab in, I said. Come on. Come on, just tab in, just do a little tabby. I see the slot, just do it. There we go. I make things so much harder than they have to be. And then he's got the little slots right there. That just kind of keys in right there. Yeah, that is very basic, but absolutely effective. Basic but effective. That's what I like out of an Optimus transformation. This is a very solid, like, entry-level Optimus toy for a young Transformers fan. This is genuinely something, like, if your kid watches Rise of the Beast and they're like, I want a Transformer! I want Optimus Prime for $17. This is solid. This is a solid option. I really enjoy this one. And you can still put the chainsaw on the side if you want them, you know, going crazy. It's a really cool figure. I really like this one. I do appreciate, too, how the wheels aren't on the arms. Oftentimes with these really simplistic looking Optimuses, they just put the wheels on the arms, when this one has them on the hips, and I think that is a way better placement for the wheels. Not the most accurate, obviously, but I think it's effective. And I think this Optimus, like, at the end of the day, get him transformed, and yeah, that's a really solid toy. It feels good, quality's good. I mean, sure, you know, the legs are basically just one part, and one of the wheels isn't even real. Actually, that's kind of cool, because one of the wheels is a port. So you can do that. I'm actually happy one of those wheels isn't real. Yeah, this is definitely a winner for sure. Out of the main line, like just the non-deluxe, non-Voyager stuff, I'm really liking this Optimus. They did have the masks, the roleplay masks. I'm thinking about getting one of those, but honestly, I'm a little hesitant because I feel like they might do an Optimus Prime one. They do have Primal, and I love Primal, as we are about to see, but, man, if I only have the one, I'd want it to be Optimus Prime, so we might see, you know, roleplay mask wave 2 might be Optimus and Scourge. We'll find out. Well, anyways, we've got Optimus Primal left to look at. Let's go ahead and get into it. I always love when it's like new Transformers time. I always love it. I remember Age of Extinction. I was rushing to Toys R Us on the launch day. And one disappointing thing about this line is that there was no, like, very clear launch day. It was just like, oh, this is the day that it's kind of starting to be available, even though some people have already found it, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, that was kind of disappointing. But still, you know, I was happy to find this. But yeah, I remember I went to Toys R Us on launch day for Age of Extinction. And I was like, you know, walking in fast. I was super excited. How old would I have been for Age of Extinction when that stuff came out? Oh my goodness. I wouldn't have been too old, maybe like 14 or 15. And the employee asked me, they're like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, the new Transformers. And they said, the guy said, they're out. And at first I interpreted that as like sold out. And he's like, oh no, they're out on the shelf. And I'm like, yes. So first impression of this Optimus Primal, very nice and heavy, but does this tab in, please? Thank goodness. Okay, now with, oh no, please stay in. You tab in, but do you stay in? Okay, I think we're staying in. So first impression of this Optimus Primal after getting his chest tabbed in, pretty positive. Definitely very hardy Voyager class. Reminds me a lot of the Kingdom one, actually. And it's interesting, this main line, a lot of the figures seem to be just very, like, Beast Warsy. Like, they're not super accurate to the movie, but this Optimus Primal, like, looking at this compared to, the CGI renders and the trailers and things like that, this is pretty spot on. That's pretty spot on how he looks in the movie. So, I don't know. I don't know if we'll get a studio series. I figured I want this one enough to justify getting it. I can tell you already he's going to be shorter than like Voyager Cheetor from Studio Series. So I don't know how well we'll go with that. But with me, I just love movie toys in general. Like I have the main collection of like, Studio Series, the main movie lines. But then I just have like the toys from the movie when the movie was out. I just like having some of these. And so far, this Primal is really impressive. Again, I don't know if we'll get a studio series. I think it was in the leaks as like a leader class, but we all know that's going to, like, this thing was like 33, and the leader class is going to be like 55, and it's going to be that much bigger. We already know. But, taking a look at this, oh man, this is cool, man. I like it. I love seeing how the movies interpret these classic characters. Like I just mentioned how Nightbird's interesting. And then Optimus Primal, I think they did a great job taking the Beast Wars character and putting it into a movie design. I'm sure some people miss the white, and they miss the blue, and they miss some of the little shots of red. And my response is, Optimus Prime is in this movie. We can't have Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal looking identical. We can't do that. So I think him being like all silverback gorilla color is decent. I think these grays and these silvers look really, really cool. I love how he has the swords. He's got the swords. They didn't like compromise on his swords. Like in the movie too. Like these are his Beast Wars swords, man. It's so cool. Can they store on his back? I hope so. Ooh, yes. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I love this toy. I love it. It's so interesting that this toy line has Studio Series and also has the Mainline figures. It's so odd. Like, are we just going to double dip on every character? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Because I know the Bumblebee movie, straight up, like, the Mainline did not have Voyagers, Deluxes, etc. All of that was relegated to Studio Series. So I found it very interesting that this is its own thing. It's like we first had the Air-Razor leak. That was like one of our first Rise of the Beast toy leaks. We all thought that was Studio Series, but it turned out to be a Mainline one. And then, because then there was a Studio Series Air-Razor that leaked. And it's like, what? Because we're going to have like the Deluxes released individually and in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee multi-packs. From the Deluxes, I'll definitely get Nightbird, unless there's a Studio Series. Again, like, I don't know. Like, how much should I get from the Mainline? How much should I get from Studio Series? I don't know. I definitely want Mirage, because I think that actually looks a little better than the Studio Series. And I like the Battle Mask. Wheeljack, if he doesn't get a Studio Series, I really like the look of that Deluxe. It's really interesting seeing how this Mainline is. But yeah, this Primal looks super cool. The sculpt on the back looks a bit soft, looks kind of metal-y in a way. If you've seen some of the Lightyear toys, they kind of have this soft sculpt, and that's kind of similar, but it's not really a bad thing. It's just kind of, especially looking at the front, all the sharp angles and things, and then the spine is very soft looking. Yeah, let's look at his articulation. He's got a ball joint at the head. Ooh, wow. Ooh, that's cool. So he's got like universal joints at the elbows, but his shoulder pad is like on its own like set of hinge. That's really cool. Bicep swivel, elbow bend. He has a wrist swivel. Does he have a waist? He does have a waist, but similar to the Kingdom one, you have to get the butt flap out of the way. This thing typically stayed in pretty good, but it just came undone. Legs move good. He's got an upper thigh swivel, so that might get in the way just a little bit. Ooh, the knee's not that. Oh, never mind. Double knee. We're good. We're good. I was worried the knee wasn't too much, but that's an... Ooh, whoa, look at that. Oh, wow, how's that going to work? Ooh, I'm excited. See, his foot is like on a really nice hinge. And you also have like these side toes. Does it have a pivot? It's got a little bit of a pivot, but it's largely going to be that hinge right there. So we can get Primal here in some really good poses. Can we get him looking like he's beating his chest or something? Yeah, yeah. He's got some hollow hands. Some people hate hollowness in toys. I don't. I think it's okay. Yeah, man, I'm loving this Primal. Love, love, love it. So, since Optimus Primal is one of those characters where the transformation is very simplistic, and I've literally just opened this toy, let me grab the box, and we're going to reference the back of the box to see if I can get his transformation right. Because I know I will never hear the end of it if I do not. So his arms pretty much just seem like boom. And one interesting thing, similar to the Studio Series Cheetor, where's this gold coming from? It's so interesting how like the concepts on the back are so much different than the toy. It's so much different. At least it has the open window. Because if this is all you had, and they didn't have open windows, you'd open it up and you're like, where's the gold? There's no gold. Because that could seriously, like, upset a kid. They might get this toy expecting it to look gold and prestige. Then they get it and it's like, oh, there's no gold. So how's this chest work? Seems like it might split open, like, from the sides. Because this is, like, a piece that I think is going to, like, slide out of the way. I'm looking for the hinge on the chest. Oh, okay. So it's not a hinge, it's like a slider. And this seems very similar to... Oh, that's cool. That seems similar to the Kingdom one. But also just, you know, kind of some masterpiece design engineering. That's kind of neat. Wow, look at that. Then I'm assuming that's actually going to slide inside. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. That's cool. So one thing I'm curious about is how these legs work. Because I see this, like, panel right here. I don't know what this does. Because, see, the foot. I think the foot's going to, like, flip. There we go. There's not a very clear hinge. So you kind of got to flip that in. And get in there with your nail. That's really cool how the feet flip in. That's really cool. Because then I guess the next step is going to be rotating the waist. Yeah, there we go. And then getting the feet kind of... Getting this kind of hinged back. I guess that's it. Because, you know, his butt kind of just stays where butts stay. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it right there. There's our movie Optimus Primal. That's looking really cool. Aw, man. You do kind of lose some of the ankle articulation in the gorilla mode. But, yeah, that's cool. I think they did a good job doing the transformation, too. Especially with how you change the chest entirely. And you still have a really nice, like, gorilla head. Like, that looks really nice. And it looks a lot like the movie. It really, really does. I've been watching a lot of videos on silverback gorillas lately. Just, like, seeing them chill at the zoo. Like, they just kind of sit there sometimes. Like, they're just sitting there, right? They're just chilling. You know, picking at their fur or whatever. Then all of a sudden they're like, bah, 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 bah. It's so cool. It's so funny. Yeah, really love this toy. Of course, you can put these back on his back if you're so inclined, but I wouldn't really expect a gorilla to have swords on his back. This is a really solid mainline figure. It's really solid. It's a decent Voyager. Definitely a good Voyager size. I mean, looking at that, that's a solid looking monkey. That's a solid looking monkey right there. Actually, it's a gorilla. I already called it a gorilla. I'm just calling it a monkey as a joke. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. There we go, guys. I think we're good. I think we're set. Here is what I have so far from the main line for Transformers Rise of the Beast. Very exciting times. Super pumped for this movie. It was so awesome that I found these today since I was able to see the trailer on the big screen. It's just so cool. There we go. Let's stand him up. And then we gotta let them come. Sorry, I had to. And then she just stands there. And then we've got the flex change. Whoa. All right, that's a smash change. That's a flex change. There we go. All right, there we go. Another look at more Mainline Rise of the Beast toys. Love this line. It's really cool. I think the flex change is a really neat idea for like the simpler one-step kind of toys, but it's just too expensive. The smash changers are really solid. I think they're a nice evolution of like the Age of Extinction flip changers, stuff like that. The Mainline Primal, very solid. I'm interested to see what we get in Studio Series for Primal, if we get anything at all. And that's a very solid, mid-deluxe size Optimus right there. Very solid little toy. I really want one of those masks. I really do. I might end up just getting one next time I see it. But, going to Walmart and seeing tons of new toys, I cherry-picked the ones I was really, really after. This is the only, Voyager Deluxe figure they had. If they would have had the Voyager Optimus, I would have gotten that too. But that's actually the last Primal they had too. So I lucked out there. Yeah, loving it. Love it. Let me know what you think about these toys. Are you going to pick any of them up? I personally, out of all of these, recommend Primal the most, obviously, because it's a standard Transformer toy. But after that, I really like that Optimus. I think it's pretty solid. And honestly, looking at this Optimus next to Primal, that's a decent scale. That's a decent scale right there, especially if you want, Primal to be huge next to him. It's so funny how much bigger the beasts are in the movie, even though in G1, G1 Optimus Primal going up against Optimus Prime would literally go up to there. It's so funny. Alrighty, guys. Again, let me know what you think. Are you going to pick any up? I'm really excited. I'll definitely do some more videos on Rise of the Beast stuff as it comes into my collection. So expect a video on Scourge, on any other Studio Series ones that may come out, any more Mainline ones I decide to get. Definitely stay tuned because I'm very excited for this movie and I'm going to scoop up as much as I can I'm not going to get it all, obviously, but as much as I want, as much as I can, if that makes any sense. Alrighty, I'll stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. And there we go. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Let them come!